like what we see right now or whatnot. Okay.
Okay, so I can swear.
Yeah, well, if we do a lot of language, I'll put it on middle finger. If we don't do a lot of language, then I'll put it on APOD.
I swear.
That's so do I.
Okay, all right. Somebody once told me that God knows what I say or think. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a heart thing.
No, somebody once told me.
So we're talking about language, right, guys? That's a big one because my buddy Chris here is a friend of mine. We both been working in the drug rehabilitation programs for a while now, working with guys in drug cultures, and teaching guys how to come into recovery out of addiction, right? And so in those groups of people don't talk like Christians in church, right? And so my buddy Chris was just saying, like, he cusses and everything else, and I'm like, well, so do I. We both do. That's why it's called part of it's Middle Finger Ministries, right? Because it's more than just about being relevant, guys. If you really study, if you want like a biblical teaching on it, I'll give you one real quick here, but like, since I'm giving it to Chris, is that, how many times have you met somebody and they're like, hey, how you doing? I'm glad you're here. And in their heart, they're like, that they're not glad you're there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you got someone else that you meet like, hey, fuck you, man. And it's like, that's my friend. And he loves me. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not what's coming out of your mouth that's important. It's about what your heart is about. People say, well, it's cursing. No, cursing is where I'm wishing ill upon somebody. And I've been cursed at, and no one said a 4-letter word to me ever. My heart has been broken from people and their words, and there was never any swearing language involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
so a curse is something completely different. Cussing is something completely different. Now, is it proper? Of course not. In certain circles around your wives or women, it's maybe not proper, you know what I mean? But if you're doing any kind of street ministry or any kind of discipleship or training, if you're in business even, the business world does not speak properly. I mean, it's shop talk, right? And so it's locker room language. And so you got to be able to get over that and be able to talk colloquially and speak the language of the people of the day. Otherwise, you're just irrelevant, I feel. And so,
yeah.
With that, I got my buddy Chris Terlesky in the house. We had to do a short, like 5-minute video before we're mounting down some burgers here, grilling tonight. He got a chance to stop by, and you guys have seen him on here before. And so, how long has it been, man? Since I've known you, and how long have I known you?
Oh, man, I think we met back in 2013, 2014 area. So it's been about 5, 6, maybe 7 years.
Dang, bro.
Yeah.
That's a journey.
Yeah, you were driving for the cabs, and yeah, I was still working at the gas stations.
At the gas station.
Yeah, not to throw any labels out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
you don't want
we're not
any lawsuits, man.
Yeah, we want no lawsuits on this. So yeah.
Page 2.
Yeah. We're not getting
come back
page
for
2
your.
today. Yeah. No.
So if you guys have seen some of the older videos, I got some of the taxi cab ministry going on there where I'm praying for guys in my cab and whatnot. And Chris was one of those guys, man. I just connected with him and like on a couple of nights fairs, man. And literally, go ahead, man. I mean, where have you been and where are you going, man? And where are you at now?
Well, let me tell you, Adam picked me up when I was in the midst of my addiction a couple times. I was going on a run to pick up some crack cocaine. So he saw me at my worst, and Adam showed me, God. And in those moments, he showed me how to feel it and feel the Spirit. And I've never had that before. I've never, he blessed me with an understanding of what it meant to be spiritual and to feel the Spirit and to walk in it. And I didn't even know it in the time because I was still through my addiction, and I still had a long road ahead of me and a lot of bad times. But after that, and after meeting Adam, I knew that I was walking with God. I just didn't fully comprehend. I still had a little bit more to learn.
It's been a road for sure, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's been going on?
If it takes you 30 years to screw up your life, you ain't gonna fix it in one.
No, that's true.
It's like you gotta relearn some things, man.
Yeah. So I spoke on this. I think I was 6 months sober
When we did the last video?
When we did the last video, which was, I think, in 2016.
You might have seen it where we baptized him in the pool here, guys. He got baptized in the swimming pool here. You might have seen those videos and pictures.
Yeah.
Derek was here and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and I was telling Adam, when I got here just a little bit ago, that 3 years ago, I was still sitting in jail. I was in the tents. If you live out in Arizona, you know what that is.
Everybody knows the tents. Even outside of Arizona.
Even outside Arizona.
The tents are famous, man.
Yeah, Mr. Arpaio was chilling in the tents.
Pink underwear.
Yeah, and 3 DUIs and a lot of bad habits and 2 loss of families. All my own. I did that all on my own. Nobody helped me do that. And now, I went through another treatment, and with guys like Adam in my life showing me the spiritual side of it, the program that I work outside of that, which is all intertwined. I've been very fortunate in life to not only have gotten, I think I'm 2 years, 9 months sober. So
almost 3 years. Dude.
Almost 3 years, man. We're getting there. June 13th. 2016 is my sober date, so we're moving and grooving, and I got nobody to thank for that except God and the people that I put around me. I don't hang out with people that do drugs anymore. I hang out with people that spit the spirit, and and I've been very fortunate in my life to be a part of other people's recoveries. So I get to go into facilities and do classes and try to spread some I guess gospel, recovery gospel, I guess, in the only way that I know. And then to have a business, I own a business now that houses guys coming out of treatment centers.
It's got 3/4 houses.
Yeah.
So you've been, how many 3/4? You just got a new one.
Yeah,
right?
So we're at number 2, and we should be at number 3 by August. So it's going great. I'm 2 years into to the electrical union.
Yeah.
So I'm kicked.
So did you hear that? He's got 2 3/4 houses.
Yeah.
With how many beds? How many guys? You're gonna have like 20 guys, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna be right around 20 beds.
But he's been doing electrical work for how long now?
Just a couple years.
Right. So you're in the union for the electrical.
Yeah. 2 years into school. So when I jumped out of treatment, man, I was pretty serious about rebounding and changing my life.
Yeah.
And there's a saying that nothing changes if nothing changes.
Right.
Right. So I changed everything. 100%. I dropped out when I was 15. So when I got sober, I said, I'm going back to school. 36, 37 years old, I jumped back into college into a trade.
Into electrical union.
Into electrical, yeah. Joined the union. So one of the best things I ever did. Through that, it opened doors to be able to find investors to get into a business, so I could stay close and try to help guys. And yeah, it's been incredible, man. It's
Dude, I remember the time that he passed the bus test, right? I remember you called the electrical companies to get a job. Like, how many times did you show up over there and talk to them?
Oh, lots, man.
Like, it was like every day you were calling them, and they were like, we got to give this guy a job or he's not going to leave us alone, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, man, it wasn't easy. This is getting sober and going through recovery is the hardest thing I ever did, but it was the greatest thing I ever did. But I was telling Adam, man, and he saw me for the first 6 months. I was riding a Huffy around Phoenix.
Yeah, he was biking,
making $10 an hour. I was 37 years old, trying to get into this electrical thing. I was jobless, homeless, and broke, man. And I lived at a rehab for 4 months, and then I went to 3/4 housing myself, and I still had child support payments. I still had court costs, court fees to pay back. I still had probation I had to get through. I had breathalyzers that needed to be installed
in your car
with vehicles that weren't even in sight. Yeah.
Dang, that's right.
Yeah.
You don't have that anymore?
Just got rid of it, man.
Dang.
Just got rid of that.
That's huge, man.
Almost 3 years sober, and I just got rid of that damn thing. So, and now I'm driving a brand new car.
Did you buy the sports car?
No, I didn't buy the sports car. Yeah, we haven't gotten there, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
And I'm over and I go up and I see my daughter in Prescott because it's her birthday, and I get to drop off a present. That's an awesome dollhouse that she wanted.
Cool.
So that's the kind of stuff, and it's not all about me anymore. It's I'm really proud of where I've come, and I couldn't have done it without God program in the people I put around me, and positive influences. And the best advice I can give for people out there, if you want to succeed, man, get something that works for you and put people in your life that are going to work for you and be there for you. Positive influences. There's so many people in the world that just want to see other people succeed, and they're out there. And then you got the dark side of life, man, and these people, they want to pull you down with them. They want to keep you there. And they walk in the dark. They don't walk in the light like we do. And yeah, you want to, you find those people that walk in the light and that walk through the Spirit like Adam, and you stick close to them. And you hold that tight, because God will lead you, and God will it's just incredible the blessings you get, man.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Let me ask you this. Chris, have you ever seen anybody get clean just on the streets without going into a program or a prison?
Very rare. No.
Dude, I've been doing this 13 years. I've never seen one person.
No. You're probably the closest I've seen.
I went to jail.
Well, you went to jail.
That's how I got clean.
You went to jail, and then you found God.
Yeah, back again. Yeah.
But most guys that I know do it through a 12-step program.
Yeah.
I do through AA, NA. To me, it's all the same shit. It's all addiction. But no, totally honestly, no.
Because I get a lot of people saying like, "Oh, I don't want to go into a program to get clean."
Good luck.
Right?
Good luck.
They're like, "Oh, it's okay for me just to smoke weed."
Good
Is
luck.
there one program out there that will let you in smoking weed?
No.
No, there's not.
No.
There's not one program out there that lets you smoke weed.
Probation departments.
The probation,
they will.
The state will let you do it.
Yeah, they'll do it.
But there's no rehabs out there that will let you do it smoking weed, guys.
Here's
What's that say about weed, huh?
Here's what I say about medical marijuana. I'm neither for nor against it. It doesn't matter to me. My mom has cancer. She's dealing with some stuff, and she does. She's had to go that route, and it's a blessing for her. I think it's a great thing. But for real addicts and alcoholics, it's, what, once you graduate past that, you can't go back. Yeah. I've seen guys try. Yeah. Maybe you go smoke weed for a week or two and it works. And sooner or later, you're going to get what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
What
you get around the wrong person.
Yeah.
Someone else got something else.
Come on, man. Once you graduated past weed to meth, you don't want the, I remember when I was in the midst of my addiction, I remember my roommate leaving me a pile of weed sitting on the table, and that weed sat there, and I did every drug there was at the time, and that weed sat there for like a month, and he came back over. No, he came back over and said, "Hey, man," I said, "Go and get that out of there. I got my meth pipe, right?" Yeah. So, I'm a true addict. Maybe guys that can do that aren't real addicts or alcoholics, but if you're a true addict and alcoholic, it's a little bit of a blanket statement. I can't tell anybody what they can and can't do.
But you don't let anybody into your houses that pees dirty with weed.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Any mind-altering substance cannot come in. Even guys that have cards, I've had guys that have had cards, and it's their option. I don't force anybody into housing. My thing is I simply tell them, you can't smoke while you're here, so if you want to use that, you got to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
And that's on them. Or, the nice thing about living in America is
that's a three-quarter house. That's not an actual sobriety place to get sobriety.
No.
Like Teen Challenge, Dream Center, fucking Crossroads, Solutions. None of these places are gonna let you in or stay fucking there and be peeing fucking with weed in your system.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely
if you're trying to like
in any reputable, sorry, I kind of butchered that word, but. Three-quarter housing is not going to let you use anything, period, and live there. And if they are, and it's just about money, then they shouldn't be in business anyway.
Yeah. So, guys, if you're in a situation where you're struggling with drugs or addiction, you've got to get to the point to say, I'll do whatever it takes to get clean. I'll check into a program. I'll commit 6 months. I'll commit 3 months. No matter what it takes, you have got to do it, guys, because we lose people left and right from heroin overdoses, from everything, and it's heartbreaking, guys. And so wherever you're at, man, if it's make a phone call, get into a program, do whatever it takes to make that step. That's the only way out of this, guys. It's either jail, prison, recovery house, rehab, or the morgue, guys.
Can I add something to that real quick?
Yeah.
A couple things that you hit on right there is the statistics tell us that guys that go into facilities for 30 to 60 days, 3% at best will stay sober going through that. That's a really low number. And that's a scary statistic, but here's the flip side of that. We get to guys that stay in programs or facilities like 6 to 12 months where you go to sober housing or you go through places like the Dream Center.
Yeah.
You go through these long-term programs and that statistic of 3% is washed away, and you look at being put into an 80 and 90 percentile
Dude.
of being able to stay sober. That's called longevity. That's called time. It's learning how to live sober around other people. It's very important, and it's a really small time frame for changing your whole life. I always tell guys that are like, well, it's Christmas, I want to be home with my family. Well, you're not doing that for that Christmas. You're doing it for the rest of the fucking Christmases coming up.
Nice.
Right? And then Adam hit on this. This is scary. You know, if you're diagnosed with cancer, life stops. Right?
Yeah.
You got cancer. Your doctor tells you stop. You stop what you're doing. Life-changing experience. Right? Do you know that alcoholism and drug addiction kills people every 30 seconds in the United States? That's a higher number than cancer. It kills more people than cancer in the United States. It is a disease, just like cancer, but when we're told that we're an alcoholic or an addict, it's a disease. And we're told...
We disagree on that.
You know, but we're told that you're an alcoholic, or we find out we're an alcoholic and an addict, it's not a big deal. It's just, we'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
and then we got guys...
But it's killing people.
Yeah, it's killing people. Fentanyl, heroin, needles. It's all nasty, man. You can't tell me life's going to end good for you. That you're going to be successful shooting dope into your arm. If you could show me that, I would love to see
And
it.
you know that already. You know that already.
Yeah.
And you know where you're going with what you got going on, kind of thing. But I wanted to bring Chris on tonight, man, because he brings something to the table that's just awesome to see. And he's definitely he's not done. What did he do with his journey, with his walk? He's growing constantly. He's growing financially. He's growing, educational wise. He's growing spiritually still. You know, I'm always kicking his butt, trying to get him to grow more spiritually. You know, and it's just awesome to be around the guy because he has put the work in. It is no joke, and it's hard work, guys. It is not going to be easy, and to tell you otherwise, life is not easy, guys. And so you can't have this victim mentality. You got to have I'm going to do this. I can overcome this. These guys did it. Look, guys, I've got over 15 years sobriety, guys. You know.
That is fucking awesome. That's a miracle.
From hardcore crystal meth. I mean, you name it. Whatever I get my hands on, I didn't care. You know what I mean?
I've seen pictures. It's a miracle.
You know, in and out of jail constantly, zero. Started from the bottom up, guys. You know what I mean? And God has just elevated me through years of just, you know, when you see how much God loves you guys, when you realize that He's even gave His Son for you, it's like you don't have to obey Him. You want to because of how good of a dad He is to you. You know, and so it's like you want to honor your dad. And so you learn sort of what the family rules are. If you live your life according to these family rules, things work out. You got more joy than everybody else. You got more peace than everybody else. You got more money than everybody else. You've got more favor, more blessings than everybody else. You know what I mean? And so if you can sell out towards that, guys, I mean, what I did is I put my nose in that Bible and I read every single day. And I just cried out to God for help, you know? And it was through a lot of other people that came in and taught me. I mean, I went to 12-step meetings. I went to whatever I could get my hands on, I was going to. Because it was life and death for me. You know, and I knew that I didn't want to be shackled from head to toe anymore and walking around eating bologna sandwiches, you know, and being locked up with a bunch of, you know, crazies and smelly guys, you know. So,
yeah.
And I hurt everybody around me. You know, I was a liability to my family. They couldn't have me around. They couldn't trust me because of who I was and how I'd become because of my addiction. You know, you get people off addiction, they're great people, you know. And I can get people clean and sober all the time, but you need people around you to teach you life skills. You need people around you to teach you how to do relationships. You need people around you to teach you how to do your laundry. People how to budget a checkbook, how to not quit a job before you have another job. You know, how to do life. And you need people around you to do that. And whether you call that church, whether you call that other people, that's sort of your family, whatever it is, man, that's God put those people around you and to grow with you and to do life with. And Chris is one of those guys for me, man. He's not just, he's a friend, you know, and he's a testimony to God in his life. It's cool, man. You got anything else, Jess, you want to say?
No, man. Adam's a great guy, man. He's been a big inspiration in my life, man. I can't, like I said, I just live my life under the concept of God program and people like Adam, and I don't surround myself with negativity anymore. You know, I like I said, you know, I walk in the Spirit, man. It's because of people like this that showed me the way, and I'll be totally honest with you, I'm not even that religious, you know. But I read the Bible, and I listened to what people say, and I knew there was a better way. And I am God, Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, and I do believe that I do walk in that. And it's not my path in life to, I don't recruit. This is just me telling you that there's a better way to live, and however you're going to find that, you know, find it through God, find it through programs.
He's got a wider gate than I do.
Yeah, but love
he shepherds them in, and then, because you go down that road, no matter what, you're going to end up where I'm at.
That's true. That's true. That is true. I love life, man.
Yeah.
I love Adam, man, and I'm really thank you for letting me come and say a couple words, man. It's
I'm glad
awesome.
you did. We were like, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah.
Guys, have a great night, man. It's good to see you. Love y'all. Peace.
Deuces.